Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today is probably the most important day in the supercar industry, supercar community, since it is the Tuesday of Geneva Motor Show. Is it always Tuesday where it's the most important date, or is it like Monday? Does it switch on?
I don't. Usually it's Tuesday or Monday.
Today is March 5th, Tuesday of 2019, and this is a crazy day. This morning, I literally skipped school. Well, I skipped school because we had a field trip. I practically skipped school for this. There's so many cars, so many different companies just releasing their cars. So I want to start off with Ferrari, since they didn't release it today. They didn't release their new 488. The new 488 today. They released it a couple days back. I want to quickly talk about the F8 Tributo. You know, it's tributes to the V8 engine. Probably their last V8, yeah? Probably their last V8. So design wise, I'm not a fan. A lot of people are sort of like trashing and saying Ferrari didn't put enough effort into designing it. They were like calling it the facelift of the facelift. So the facelift of the 458 was the 488, and now it's the facelift of the 488. So people are calling it the facelift of a facelift, which makes sense. I mean, it looks like ridiculously similar. Performance wise, it has I'm pretty sure like 70 more horsepower, so 710 brake horsepower now, which is equivalent to the Pista, but it's not going to be as fast as the Pista, since Pista is a more performance geared car.
After Ferrari, those two cars that came out, which was the Lamborghini Huracan Evo and the SVJ Roadster, which was pretty expected to like come out at this show, since the SVJ and the SVJ Roadster kind of had their like pre-orders at the same time. Basically, it's just an open top version of the very last Aventador. They are producing a little bit less than the coupe, so it's going to be a little more special, and the color of the one that they showed, I really like it. I'm pretty excited to see an SVJ Roadster in that color.
Aren't they going to make 800 and 800 coupes?
900 coupes and 800.
They're making 900 coupes?
Yeah, 900 coupes and 800 SVJ Roadster, plus the 63 special ones for both sides.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to be making like over like 1600
it's like
something.
It's like double the amount of like the SV, right?
Yeah, basically double the amount. So
yeah.
I really want to see this exact car because I think it looks stunning. Daniel doesn't really like the color.
I don't like the brown. It represents older category. It represents an older age group. And for me, as a person who's not even 20 yet, not even 19 yet, this just doesn't fit my style. But moving on from that, I want to quickly talk about the new Bentley. The new Bentley Continental has been out for quite a while now. We saw it at Pebble Beach. It looks really good, and this Continental GT number 9 is what Bentley released here at Geneva. It's crazy. The color, it's ridiculous. The color, the green color on it. I think Bentley did a very good job designing it, and also the performance of it. JWW actually did a video along with, I'm pretty sure, several other car YouTubers and journalists did videos and write articles about this. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the new Continental, I'll leave some links down below, and also all the cars that I'm going to talk about, I'll link some videos and articles so you guys could learn more about it if you please. Now, Mansory, or Mansory as Germans call it, released 4 cars this year. Pretty crazy, some of them subtle, but I'm pretty sure Mansory has a reputation of going like above and beyond with their designs and carbon fiber and all the interior stitching and stuff. But first one I want to talk about is the G63. They actually themed this off of like a Star Wars theme, which I think is very cool. Making a car named the Stormtrooper, or not the Stormtrooper, the Star Trooper, is pretty cool. It has this like Star Wars like camo logo, like just like a Stormtrooper in Star Wars. So it sort of resembles Star Wars. I don't know if they're meant to do that or they're not. It's called a Star Trooper.
It says the Mansory describes the paint job as 50 Shades of Grey camouflage.
I think it's pretty cool, honestly, with like the red lights in the front and the little red accents in the front. I think it's pretty cool. They collaborated with a German designer called Philip Flen. They collaborated. They're making only 20 vehicles starting at 550,000 euros, which is how much US?
Like 600, 700,000.
Yeah, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
The next Man Series, I think they did a good job on this one since they kept it pretty simple, low key, which is the new Rolls-Royce Cullinan. They just added a sort of a small spoiler in the back, new rims. They didn't do anything with the performance. They actually did do something with the performance. They did 40 horsepower, which is basically almost nothing. And overall, it just looks good. Can't really complain about how they did this. Quad exhaust tips, which is good. Now, the final Man Series one that is the biggest and the most important one is the Chiron. It's actually the first Chiron that's tuned or modified ever. So Man Series was the first one to do it. Design wise, looks like a militarized version of a Chiron, my opinion. What do you think?
I think it looks sick. I think it's really, really cool. Just because they actually changed like the roof scoop, the exhaust, and like the whole back and everything about it is just absolutely bonkers. And they did a good job with the Centuria. It's a really good car. I think it's a little too insane for Bugatti, but well, that's basically what they were trying to do, is just make something super special and bonkers.
I don't know, just like the 812, it's just no. I mean, it's a totally different car, but they just went a little too much on the Chiron.
So next, after showing the Mansory one-of-one Bugatti that they're making, Bugatti decided to come out with a special car to resemblance the old Atlantic. I forgot the name, something SC Atlantic.
The Type
57 SC Atlantic that was lost because they made 3, and the 4th one was lost on like on a transport vehicle or something like that. So they made the 4th Bugatti Atlantic and they called it La Voiture Noire, which is basically the black car. And it was what it was called before, the car that went missing. And basically it's something super bonkers. 6 exhaust tips, absolutely insane.
I think the price
tag is $16 million or something like that.
It's more than that. It's 18. Where is it? Where does it say this? It's like It's 18.1 something million dollars.
Well, no one knows because this one says 11 million pounds. So basically,
I think it's 18.
It's just the most expensive brand new car that came out.
That
has come out ever, and it looks insane. I don't really like the front or the wheels. The painted on the tire I think is super ugly. The wheels look super ugly, but the back looks good. I really like the back. The front, I don't really like it. The back with the light, like the P1.
Yeah, the back.
And the big Bugatti logo with those freaking 6 exhaust tips.
That's insane.
Is insane. Yeah, and this is just a model right now, I think. I don't know if they're going to use the same car for the customer one-of-one, but that is just basically the car without the interior. The biggest showing at Geneva this year, in my opinion, is definitely Aston Martin with their 2 new mid-engine cars that came out this year. The production version of the Valkyrie, the 002, and a bunch of other cars, Lagonda including. Let's just talk about the 003 right now, because I am super excited for this car, which is basically a NASA-grade baby Valkyrie with V6 hybrid twin turbo. So they're going through a smaller engine now, and it's basically going to crush anything on the road like P1, LaFerrari. That's what it's going for. It's going to be around $1 million, and I just think it's the most stunning car ever. Like the diffuser, the back, the 2 exhaust tips right behind the engine. Honestly, one of the most beautiful cars, and I hope it stays like that for the future real production version. And next is the Vanquish Vision concept, which is basically supposed to be like the nicer, good-looking version of the Valkyrie and the 003. So it's more elegant, more Aston Martin-like, more GT-like, but it is still insane looking. It's still concept in that form, but if they go like that, like the way that they're doing with the new Aston Martins.
But this is gonna rival the 720S.
Yeah, which is it's gonna be the 720S. They said it's gonna be around 300,000 pounds, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I am very excited that the Aston Martins are going away from the Mercedes engines too. So they're creating their own engines for their new cars. So that's pretty exciting too.
So for Aston Martin and, you know, a lot of these newer concept cars, we don't really know much about performance-wise since they're not like fully released yet, not confirmed yet. These are a lot of them are concept and prototypes early in stages. So we're just talking about the design-wise. Performance-wise, we'll talk about it in another video since we don't know barely anything about it. We just know if it's like a V6 hybrid or a V12. So that's why we're just only going to talk about design with the Aston Martins. But on the other hand, with Koenigsegg, it's a whole different story because their new car called the Jesko. I can't. Swedish is hard for me. It's probably hard for a lot of people who are not Swedish or up there. The Jesko, named after Christian von Koenigsegg's father. I watched the video when they released it, and Christian did get really emotional. Their whole family was very emotional because his father helped him sort of launch and start up the company, and now where it is today is hugely successful. So Christian did name this car after his father because he meant a lot to him, and it's been their 25th year since they started the company. So that's why they created this and named it after this. Design wise, front resembles the Regera very, very, very much. Back wing, like the 121 and like the XS, it has a very similar resemblance with the wing just attaching to the back. The top of the car, I don't know how you really call it, the wing is massive. It's probably the biggest wing ever on a production car. Not like modified, just on a production car. This is probably the largest wing.
The Apollo, but yeah.
Okay, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think for now, since Apollo is not really like released yet, we'll just call it this is the largest wing now. Apollo is not. I don't really call Apollo like a legitimate like company yet. I just don't. Not as far as Koenigsegg for sure. So we'll just leave Apollo out of the equation. Apollo is a different story. Back Regera, almost the wing 1-to-1. The back has a Regera exhaust too, just like the Regera. Nothing else to say. It's very, very long. I forgot exactly how long it was, but it is 40 millimeter longer and 22 millimeter taller than the Agera. And the Agera itself is a pretty large of a car. I mean, we've seen it in person. It's quite big. It's a big car. So this just being longer and taller just makes it, I don't know, it's gonna be like crazy. Like, I feel like all these cars are, especially with Aston and all that, they're just, the speed tail, they're just getting longer and longer. So with these very long cars, I don't know, I think this is the new technology, the best way to make a hypercar now is just make it longer. But this design wise, I give it, I don't know, I haven't seen it yet in person. Video, it looks good. Pictures, for me, when I first looked at it, my first initial thoughts were like, it's like not the best. But looking at it in video form, it does look a little bit better. And I feel like it's gonna, for me, it's gonna come in the future. My likings.
It's gonna grow.
It's gonna grow. Yeah, that's what I meant. It's gonna grow on me. It's definitely gonna grow on me. Performance, 1,600 horsepower. I believe it's the biggest horsepower Koenigsegg have ever put out, beating the Regera. So this one is gonna be, I mean, 1,600 is a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. Oh, and also, the gearbox is probably the most interesting thing about this car. I don't know like too much about it, but I know that it's a nine what do you call it? It's a nine speed gearbox with like 7 clutches it's something that's like very unheard of, and Koenigsegg actually built this, and crazy. Watching Christian talk about this car, I really do recommend if you guys want to like know like the full details about the car. I don't know like as much as he does, so if you guys just watch the video, link it down in the description below. But he said that it's 9-speed, and you can move each gear like from 9 to 3 without like going from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. It just goes 9 to 3, and that's I don't know. It's just mind blowing for me. Like you usually can't do that. You can't do that on like normal cars. So being able to do that is very crazy. And the gearbox stuff, I feel like it's very new and very technological. So I'm not the person to really like talk about this. So either watch Christian talk about it, and then probably we'll have more information in the future, more articles and that kind of stuff on the gearbox. Yeah,
and this car is actually, they're gonna make like a track version and a regular road version. So it's basically an RS. It's the replacement of the Garrett RS, which we haven't talked about, but it is actually going to be like, there's going to be like different models of it, so one could be like insane. A sister car. And they also incorporated rear wheel steering for the first time on this car. So this car will probably be Nürburgring times everything. It will be the fastest car, track and non-track, in the world.
Yeah. So and then the sister car, they're trying to make it to go over 300 miles per hour.
Yeah.
which is crazy. This is a more track focus, Christian said, and then the sister car that'll be coming out in the future is gonna be more just straight line speed, trying to break that 300 miles per hour record, which will be, I mean, it will be crazy, but it will be expected since Koenigsegg is known to be good at doing that. Okay, that was our opinions and a little short overview on the first day of Geneva 2019. When the week ends, I'll be doing another short video, maybe if Pagani releases something. I'm not sure by the time you guys see this, everything would have come out, but we'll talk about the cars that will be coming out later this week. But today was the largest day, the biggest day. There's so much stuff to talk about. So that's why we made this video just for this day. I mean, we could probably talk about these cars for like an hour or two, but this was just basically a short summary, since it is the most important day in the automotive industry. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on all these cars actually down in the comments below. I want to really know your opinions on it. We shared ours. I want to read yours and hear yours. So put those down in the comments below. I'll leave those articles on all these pictures and articles that we got our information from, and the videos that we watched to get this information down in the description below. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
So we actually forgot about my favorite car that came out too, which is the Pininfarina Battista. And with 1900 horsepower electric hypercar, which is insane. And I think it looks better. It's like the Ferrari that should have been made, which is Pininfarina. And that's one car that I'm very excited to see. And they're making 150 units, 50 of them coming to the US. So a third of the Pininfarina cars will be here in the US, and we will probably see that very soon.
And we're going to do a separate video. But long story short, 1900 horsepower, that's all you need to know. See you guys. Bye.